Hi here. This is Jon Rognerud. I'm going to take you through how we scale appointments and how you can do the same. So we pull this out of a guide that we put together, and this is a video presentation to get you some details on how you can do this as well. So you've seen this before, hopefully you have, and we call this the Click to Conversions Accelerator. Essentially, this system is based on simplicity. And simplicity means a simple funnel and targeted traffic. And it starts very often, in our case, with an audience and search intent paradigm, which is driven by YouTube and also Google. There are other platforms, which I'll talk about in a second. But for this guide, we primarily use this and in our agency as well. So traffic comes in. You've seen this before. It goes to an engagement page of sorts. Some opt-in happens, and then they go to a webinar or a VSL. We like VSLs because, as I said from the top, simplicity is key here. We don't need complexity, and we don't need to spend weeks on end putting this together. Worked with clients who spend months on this, sadly. We don't want that. So that in turn, based on engagement, takes you over to an application form, which is what that quiz app is all about. From there, they may or may not continue, but we do have their email at this point, so we do an email drip. Not going to get into the logic here, but you'll probably get it because you're a professional. Essentially, you basically nurture them and push them forward through the funnel, whether it's in a fairly immediate thing here or if it goes through a more longer term nurture process, and then into the calendar where they book. That's Acuity scheduling. That is a custom calendar, Calendly, HubSpot, etc. And once they confirm here, they'll get a thank you page, and you are in the system where essentially your sales team and or you as the owner operator can jump on a call and close that call. So it's a simple model. It's a very effective model. And I call this a $1 million funnel because, frankly, millions are made through this very simple structure. And it makes sense to most people and business owners, certainly, as we discuss this and step them through that. So with that understanding, we also know that we need a traffic strategy. And that means we need to talk about what type of traffic strategies. And we also need to talk about top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Again, not going to go too deep on that here today, but suffices to say, we want an offer that matches the traffic. The message to market match is key, which ties it all together with an avatar and a message to conversion. I'm extracting this here because it simply calls out that you need an offer, and you need an offer that's tailored to an incoming traffic source that matches that offer. And so this is a very simple extraction of what we need to do here. Clearly, there's a lot more under the hood here. But if you look at it sort of pulled back out again, the ascension steps there, number one, is basically what we saw earlier: a click to an opt-in, a VSL, an app, a calendar, and a close, and the different traffic sources, which we saw just a minute ago. The reason I wanted to pull this out of the guide is the application and calendar portion down here will sometimes reverse that based on testing. We'll also include it in simply in one. So you may go from a VSL, a webinar, straight to a calendar, but inside the calendar, the questions for qualification are already embedded. And if they don't fill that out correctly, they will never book a call and hence no close, right? So this is a simple outline of why we need to make sure that using the Ascension model, we leverage the traffic correctly through a funnel that speaks to the movement of that source at that time. So this is probably the most important and the thing that you really wanted to take a look at when you requested a copy of the guide is, how do you do this? And we've broken it down to really three simple steps, starting with building your authority campaign. There is no sense in building a business without doing this, because you're going to be either faking it or be misunderstood, or frankly, not reach the people who you want for high ticket engagement. So you need to build out your authority campaign, and that's what we do. And that means your authentic expert voice is presented in this model. So that means you need to build out that VSL campaign. That can be a 20 to 30 to 40-minute video presentation, which, by the way, is not a sales presentation. It's a educational, productized way of positioning your services, and ultimately an offer that they will feel very compelled to engage with, because you have done your research, you have done your avatar matching, your messaging, and you're speaking to the right audience, which should be obvious by now. Then, after we have this, we build out your ad campaigns. These are what we call high performance ads. So not just anything that you've seen the competitors do, or it seems like the marketplace wants. No, this is based on detailed, competitive avatar research and messaging that speaks to a more direct response driven mechanism. And it showcases, of course, your expert voice by tying this all in together from a top level view. Now, when you get to number 3 here, this is what we call the no objections closing. So these are really conversational scripts and conversational models at this point. They should be highly indoctrinated and be very relevant to you and your message and your authority voice at this point. And they almost raise their hand to sell themselves to you at this point. And that's what we want. Now, this is a simple structure, a simple model here, but it really calls out what I'm trying to sort of get you to understand and recognize is simplicity is what we're really addressing here. You have a sophisticated audience in 2024. No wool pull up to anybody's eyes here. They know what's going on. You need to come out and share your authentic voice, share your expertise, and really build out these authority campaigns from the get-go. So I did put here at the bottom a rapid build, which is a client re-engagement campaign where you can get an 8 to 10 new clients in 14 days for absolutely free, where we use AI setters and human closers. But that is a separate campaign from what we're talking about here. So building your authority campaign, your authentic expert voice, that is the summary of what you need to do. And you may have heard this before, and you may have some of this built in already, but are you doing it correctly? And there's a lot more under the hood, as I said, including tracking, attribution, and a number of other aspects that you need to have in play to make sure that anything that comes in from the top, that means your traffic, is actually providing not only a ROAS, feedback to your system, but an ROI feedback to your system that is all positive, meaning you're actually putting the classic $1 in and $3 out, $4, $5 out. And this is what we focus on and what we model out based on what you have seen here. So I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you'd like to learn more and see kind of some case studies and more details, feel free to book a free strategy session here. There's going to be a button that shows up at the end of this video as well. But you can also feel free to go to that link right on the page. And, I'm not trying to, hold anything back here. But if we jump on a call, I'm also not going to try and sell you on anything, right? High integrity, highly authentic voice here coming from me. My name is Jon Rognerud. I've been at this game for a long time. I love it. I love helping businesses grow. And hey, if you want to hook me up, reach me on LinkedIn as well, or just call us here on this link, and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much.